Good afternoon, East Texas. We want to talk to you about a tornado warning that's just been issued for southern Gregg and northern Rusk counties. This does include the city of Kilgore. This warning is going to be in effect until 4 o'clock for Kilgore and areas right along the county line there. That's going to include the Monroe area. That tornado warning, it's moving east at, did we say 25 miles per hour? So moving pretty slowly. Now, it doesn't have the best rotation we've ever seen with it, but here's part of the reason that the tornado warning was issued. This same storm could have possibly dropped a very brief tornado in the northern portions of Smith County north of Lindale. We're hearing some reports of damage from that area as this storm moved through. Now that's the same storm that's moving through Kilgore, and now it's showing about the same structure that it did in the northern portions of Smith County. So this is likely part of the reason that they've issued this tornado warning that's going to be in effect for about another 30 minutes or so. Once again, this does include the city of Kilgore. If you were in Kilgore or anywhere in this tornado warned area, which does include Monroe and right along the county line of Rusk and Gregg County, you need to take your tornado precautions at this time.
Maybe this is now a confirmed observed.
A confirmed observed tornado. Who observed the tornado?
Let me open this, but the Weather Service has changed this. They're saying it is radar confirmed.
Okay, so they have confirmed it on radar that there is possibly a tornado on the ground in the city of Kilgore right now, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So once again, if you are in the city of Kilgore or just outside the city limits of Kilgore, especially on the east side, you need to be taking those tornado precautions at this time. This will hopefully only be a weak tornado, but even a weak tornado can cause a lot of damage. Go to the lowest floor of your home or your office building. The schools need to have the kids in the hallways as quickly as possible, although I think most of the schools are letting out now. So if you are in line at the schools, you need to get out of the car and get into the building and take cover there. This is an observed or a radar observed tornado on the ground. You can see kind of where that bright part of the radar is, just kind of on the south side. There's 135 right there. Here's downtown Kilgore, and you can see right there where that brightness is, just between Laird Hill and the Kilgore area. This tornado warning is in effect until 4 o'clock. So once again, tornado precautions, let's go through them. Go to the lowest floor of the building you're in, either lowest floor of your home, the lowest floor of your office building. Go to an interior room away from windows and doors. So you want to think about the building and think about how many walls you can put between you and the outside of the building as possible. This is that small windowless interior room. That's where you need to be right now if you are within the city limits of Kilgore. This is moving east at 25 miles per hour. Let's put a track on it again. I know there aren't a lot of cities out there. Monroe, you were part of that. It looks like Lakeport just very barely in the tornado warning right now, and it's moving so slowly that because it's only moving at about 25 miles per hour, if you were in Monroe, you have about 15 minutes before this would make it to your area, maybe about 30 minutes before it would make it to the Stewart area. And if this continues to show rotation, it's possible that the warning could be extended downstream toward the Easton area. So if you were in Easton right now and along 149 there, you are not in the warning yet, but you could possibly be in the warning soon. Where they're going to be issuing a couple more severe thunderstorm warnings around the area as well. Let me tell you what that one is. That's for Tyler County down to the south. We're going to leave that one alone right now and stick with this tornado warning. Once again, for the northern portions of Rusk County and the southern portions of Gregg County, this does not include Overton, does not include Liberty City, but it does include the city of Kilgore. If you were in the Pirtle area, that storm does not seem to be under the warning, but it sure looks like it might be trying to rotate just a little bit as well. The severe weather threat for today was very low, but just this morning as the cold front started moving in, that severe weather threat increased. We talked about that a little bit on Good Morning East Texas, how the severe weather threat was increasing. We talked about it a little bit on midday. Here's where the rotation is, right along 259 there in County Road 173, County Road 1249 East, County Road 196, Meadow Green Drive, Farm to Market, 2276, kind of that junction area there is where we're seeing the rotation at this time. The rotation is moving east very slowly. So if you are out ahead of this, you have time right now to get into your safe space. If you are in the Lakeport area, or if you are south of Lakeport, anywhere along 322, that's where you need to be taking these tornado precautions, going to an interior room on the bottom floor of either your office building or your home. For the kiddos that are riding buses, for those of you, Kilgore ISD, you should probably reach out to the buses, make sure they're pulling over, not driving into the thunderstorm. This thunderstorm is going to be exiting the city of Kilgore to the east, probably in about 10 minutes or so. So if you were on the west side of Kilgore, you should be behind this storm. But if you are downtown toward the east side of Kilgore, you're right in where the rotation could possibly be. So the track of this storm takes it into Monroe at 346. Into the Stewart area at 4 o'clock. Now the warning does expire at 4 o'clock, but if they are to reissue another tornado warning, that would head into the Tatum area at 4:16 this evening. So once again, if you're just now joining us, a tornado warning has been issued for the southern portions of Gregg County and the northern portions of Rusk County. This thunderstorm could possibly have a history of being tornadic. We saw a report of damage in the Lindale, kind of north of the Lindale area in Smith County from this same thunderstorm, where it looked like it might have been rotating just barely in the northern portion of Smith County. We do not have confirmation that that was a tornado, but it is possible that it was, and this is the same storm, which is part of the reason that they have issued this tornado warning. They've trimmed the warning just a little bit, so once again, what is that, 259 north that goes right through the middle of Kilgore? If you are on the west side of 259, the storm is past you. If you are on the east side of 259, the storm is right over you in the city of Kilgore. Once again, it's moving east at about 25 miles per hour. It looks like the storm may move just on the south side of Lakeport. It's near Forest Home Baptist Church along 259 there. That's going to be moving a little bit closer to the Hickory Grove Baptist Church area. This is going to be moving very close to the East Texas Regional Airport, and then continuing over Lake Cherokee. So if you know anybody on Lake Cherokee that happens to be on the lake, tell them to get off the lake immediately and get to shelter as this storm is moving that direction. Once again, if you are on the west side of Kilgore, you have been dropped from the tornado warning. If you are east of Highway 259, that's where the rotation is right now. You can see where 259 business goes through Kilgore, and then 259 kind of goes off to the east of Kilgore. This rotation is right along 259 and Farm to Market 2276, continuing to move to the east very, very slowly. If you are in the Monroe area, this is moving towards you. It'll be there in about 10 minutes. So go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. For anyone picking up the kids from school, if you can stay put, leave the kids at the school building for a few more minutes before this storm continues to move out of the way of the Kilgore area. If you're in Liberty City, you are behind this warning, so you are not under the warning. The city of Longview also not under the warning. Gregg County is included in that warning, so you may have heard the warning go off in the Longview area, but the tornado warning is south of I-20. So Longview north of I-20, not under that warning. It is moving toward the Lakeport area. It is moving toward the East Texas Regional Airport there in the Lakeport area, and it's moving toward Easton and the Tatum area if it holds together. So 345 in the Monroe area, 358 in Stewart, and if it holds together, 416 in Tatum. Right now, the tornado warning is in effect until 4 o'clock. If they continue to see evidence, they will issue another tornado warning that could last past 4 o'clock, but right now the warning is in effect until 4 o'clock this evening. Once again, this same thunderstorm moved through the northern portion of Smith County not long ago, and we are getting reports of damage north of Lindale from this thunderstorm. We have a reporter headed to the scene to see what it looks like, just kind of on the north side of Lindale, very close to the Smith County line. This is where the thunderstorm was back just after 2 o'clock, and you can see it kind of moving south of the Hawkins area. It just kind of moved along I-20 I-20 and then now diving into the Kilgore area, and that's where they've issued this tornado warning. So once again, tornado warning in effect for the very southern portions of Gregg County, does not include the city of Longview. This is going to be south of I-20. So Longview, Hallsville, you are going to stay north of this warning. And this warning will stay near the Lakeport area, diving, well, maybe barely just south of east. Right along the county line is where this thunderstorm is. Here's the newest scan. You can see it's starting to move out of the Kilgore area. So I would say most of the Kilgore area is now out of this thunderstorm as it continues to push along the county line there toward the East Texas Regional Airport. There's also a stronger thunderstorm on the south side of this, kind of on the south side of Monroe as well. Kilgore ISD is holding students on all campuses. Good job, Kilgore ISD. I think if you wait another 5 minutes, you can probably release those students. But if you are picking up your student, even though the thunderstorm is moving away from Kilgore, if you're picking up your student and headed on the east side of Kilgore, do so very, very slowly. We want this thunderstorm to be completely out of the Kilgore area before you pick up your kids and head home. So once again, we got a report that the Kilgore ISD is currently holding students on all campuses right now. Tornado watch coming soon for most of our East Texas counties south of I-20, as well as into Louisiana. Okay, so the National Weather Service has said that they are in a conference call with the Storm Prediction Center and that a tornado watch will be issued very soon for areas south of I-20. So let me step in front of the wall here. I want to show you what's going on. This is the cold front that's moving through East Texas, and these thunderstorms that you see here, they're right along the cold front. If you were behind these thunderstorms, I don't expect any more weather for you for the rest of the day. It's going to be right along this cold front pushing through East Texas that we see any more severe weather. So we have the tornado warning that's in effect until 4 o'clock. That's for southern Gregg and northern Rusk counties. But we've got all of these thunderstorms that continue to kind of spike right along the cold front. The National Weather Service is now saying that we are going to see a tornado watch issued very soon for those counties south of I-20. I expect it to be the counties that are ahead of the front and not behind the front, which means if you're in Palestine, if you're in Athens, if you're in Canton, even if you're in Tyler up to around Sulphur Springs, you're behind the front. North winds are probably picking up in your area, but you might even be seeing some breaks in the clouds as the cold front is pushing away from you. So we're only worried about the storms right along the cold front here, and the ones south of I-20 are where we see most of the moisture and most of the energy.
They're going to cancel the tornado warning because the rotation has weakened.
Okay. So we are going to send it back to regular programming here, but I want you to know that tornado warning, they're about to cancel it early. Once again, it's been in effect for the Kilgore area, but it has moved past Kilgore, and they're now saying that the rotation is weakening quite greatly. However, we've got thunderstorms moving through Henderson. We've got thunderstorms moving on the south side of Longview, and all of these have the chance of becoming strong to severe. We're going to be watching them very closely through the rest of the afternoon. I'm going to send it back to regular programming since they said that the rotation has weakened and the tornado warning will be canceled soon. But be watching, because you're going to see that bug pop up in the corner of your screen pretty soon with a tornado watch that could be in effect through the rest of the evening. So for now, let's go back to regular programming.
Good Tuesday afternoon.
Thanks so much for joining us for East Texas News at 4. We've had quite a busy afternoon. We had a tornado warning in Kilgore that has since expired, but Katie mentioned parts of East Texas still under a tornado watch.
Yes, we're going to go straight to her in the First Alert Weather Center.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by Gas and Supply Company.
Can you hear me? Sorry about that. It's been a little bit busy this afternoon, and it looks like it's going to continue to be busy through the evening. Here's the cold front moving through. That's where the showers and thunderstorms are developing. First things first, if you are behind this cold front, Longview, now Kilgore, Jacksonville, Tyler, all the areas closer to Dallas-Fort Worth, no severe weather, no storms are expected for you. This will only be along and ahead of the front where these thunderstorms are pushing. That's where they've issued the tornado watch. Now, we've had reports of maybe some damage in the northern portion of Smith County. We had that tornado warning in the Kilgore area. So far, I have not seen any videos of a tornado on the ground, but it is possible that we had a couple of what we call land spouts. These are usually very, very quick tornadoes, and they are usually pretty weak, although they can do damage. We're going to be talking with the Weather Service, and they might be issuing some people out to do some surveys in the next couple of days for the areas that did report damage. But here's what's going on right now. Cold front continues to push down to the south and east. We have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for this one storm there. You'll notice that we've got a red line around that. That does include parts of the city of Carthage. That's because this is the same storm that possibly produced a landspout not long ago. So the severe thunderstorm warning is until 4:30, and they have tagged that with tornado possible. If we do see any of these landspouts, once again, they spin up very, very quickly, and then they usually die out very quickly. But we're going to be watching this very carefully. We could also see some small hail within this thunderstorm. Looks like it's riding just south of the highway there between Henderson and Carthage. We'll be moving into the south side of Carthage pretty soon. They've been moving at about 25 to 35 miles per hour. Then down to the south, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Tyler County. It looks like we now have a tornado warning. Let's see if we can pop that up. That does include Mount Enterprise now. All right, so tell me about this tornado warning, Andrew.
Just came in, so let me get the information up for you.
Okay, so this is going to include Mount Enterprise. This is the southern portion of Rusk County here. Mount Enterprise all the way over to around Timpson area. And you can see it does include Garrison as well, right along, what is that, 84 right there, and 259 in the Mount Enterprise area. It looks like if we're seeing any rotation, it's right there at the edge of the warning where you see that bright spot right there. Let me go back to...
I'm out of your hit.
Okay.
I jumped over to the severe weather hit. It's going to be until 4:30.
Okay.
And I'm still getting this all pulled up.
Okay, so here's the latest from the velocity scan. Andrew's taking control of the radar for me right now. It looks like the rotation is just on the south side of 84, just south of the junction of 259 and 84. It's going to be moving off to the east at how fast?
It's at 40. I need to redraw that.
Okay, so about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So they're starting to pick up a little bit of speed as they move further east. That means that this possible tornado will be near the Garrison area at 421, Timpson at 429, Meldrum at 435, Tenaha 443, and the center area at 448. Once again, that tornado warning is in effect until 4:30. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, so they're making these warnings short because once again, we think these are possibly land spouts, which are usually very, very short in duration, and they're usually pretty weak tornadoes, but that doesn't mean they can't do some damage. So right now, if you are in Timpson, if you are in Garrison, if you are in Mount Enterprise, if you are in the Arlem area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. That means go to the lowest floor of your home or your office building, get into an interior room away from windows and away from doors as well. Put as many walls between you and the outside of your building, your home as possible. Go to that small windowless interior room, especially if you are in the Mount Enterprise area or if you are south of Mount Enterprise, closer to the county line there. That's where the rotation looks to be the strongest. It looks like that rotation will be crossing over 259 in the next few minutes. It's right at 259 right now and moving off to the east. So that tornado warning in effect for the southern portions of Rusk County and barely the northern portions of Nacogdoches County. So that is going to include barely into Nacogdoches County and the Garrison area. That's going to be in effect until 4:30. 4:30. The National Weather Service has issued this because we have seen reports of damage as these thunderstorms rolled through the Smith County area, and it is possible that we could see these brief spin-ups right along the cold front. So this tornado warning once again in effect until 4:30. If you're just now joining us, the tornado warning is in effect for the southern portions of Rusk County. This is going to be south of the city of Henderson. This is going to be closer to Mount Enterprise. The rotation right now on the south side of Mount Enterprise, crossing over Highway 259 right now. Andrew, let's take a look at the reflectivity and kind of zoom out just a little bit for other people that have these thunderstorms rolling through. We have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Panola County, and that is also outlined in red, which will let you know that they have tagged that with tornado possible because these are going to be very, very quick spin-ups. But all of this activity is right along the cold front. The cold front is past Longview. The cold front is past Hallsville. The cold front is past Henderson. It's past all of Cherokee and all of Houston County. So that means if you are from Crockett to Rusk to Henderson to Longview and all areas to the west, you will see no more thunderstorms through the rest of the day today. It's going to be right along this cold front as it moves off to the east and southeast through much of deep East Texas into the evening. It'll probably be completely gone from our area by around 7, 8 o'clock at the latest. The tornado watch has been issued until 10 o'clock just to cover all bases, but I expect some of these counties to be dropped from that tornado watch before 10 o'clock tonight. So at this time, we have the tornado watch that you see in orange. That's going to be in effect until 10 p.m. this evening unless counties are dropped early, which could very likely happen as this cold front continues to push through. If your winds turn out of the north, the cold front has moved through your area and you have no more chance of severe weather. We have the severe thunderstorm warning with the tag of a tornado possible in the southern southwestern corner there of Panola County. That includes the Dotson area. That also includes the very southwestern corner of the city of Carthage. These are moving off to the east. And then we have the tornado warning that was just issued for areas near Mount Enterprise, and that will be moving east toward the Garrison area. And if it holds together, it'll be moving toward Tenaha as well. So Carthage to Tenaha to center, you guys need to be watching this as it continues to push into your area. Henderson down to around Cushing, cold front is past your area and you are done with any weather for the rest of the night tonight. Tornado warning will be in effect until 4:30, so we're going to stick with you until either the warning expires or they decide to drop the warning if the rotation starts to weaken. That's what happened when the storms were a little bit further up to the north and west. When that storm went through Kilgore, the rotation started to weaken and they canceled the warning early. That is possible with this storm as well. So the tornado warning that's in effect until 4:30 will include Arlem at 4:22, Tempson at 4:34, Tenaha at 4:48, Center at 4:54, and if it holds together, the Logansport area across the state line after 5 o'clock this evening. These storms are moving at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, so they've picked up a little bit of speed, which is a good thing. We can get them out of here as quickly as possible, but if you are along or ahead of the front, you need to be watching these very, very carefully because tornadoes can spin up very quickly, especially these land spout tornadoes, and that's what we're seeing right now on radar. You see that little bright spot just off to the west of 259. So here's 259, here's Mount Enterprise, here's 84 right here, and you see this real bright spot right there. There's a bright spot here and kind of a darker spot of green there. It's a little bit hard to make out because it's not very strong rotation, but it's weak enough rotation that we could see what we call a land spout touchdown very quickly. New scan, it looks like that's weakened just a little bit. Andrew, let me know if the Weather Service says anything about that because I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel the warning early just because these are rotating and they're spinning up very quickly and then they're dying down very quickly. So the good news is we're not worried about tornadoes touching down and staying on the ground for a long time. However, this also means that we could see some rotation and we could see a tornado, very weak tornado, kind of spin up very quickly, and it's hard to get that warning out to you as quickly as possible. That's why they've tagged this thunderstorm in the southern portion of Panola County as tornado possible. They're letting you know that a quick spin up isn't completely out of the question with this thunderstorm, although they're not seeing the rotation at this time. So we have the severe thunderstorm warning for Panola County. We have the tornado warning for the southern portion of Rusk County, and that's going to continue to move off to the east. Once again, about 35 to 40 miles per hour right along the cold front. If you are behind the cold front, you are done with any weather. You don't have to worry about anything severe or any rain for the rest of the day today. It looks like they've kind of trimmed that warning just a little bit. I think they've probably taken Mount Enterprise out of that warning. Is that what they did?
Yeah, so they trimmed it, but they're going to keep it on until 4:30.
Okay, so we're going to keep this tornado warning going for another 20 minutes or so, just because the thunderstorm could spin up something very quickly without much warning. So the tornado warning is to let you know that this could be a very quick spin up of a tornado at any moment. Mount Enterprise, you have been dropped from that tornado warning as the thunderstorm has moved past you. And once it stops raining at your house in Mount Enterprise, you're done with the weather for the rest of the day today. That's the good news. We don't have anything else coming. And as soon as the cold front moves through your area, your air stabilizes and you won't have to worry anymore about any severe weather. What Andrew's looking at now are the hail tracks. We have seen some pea-sized hail with some of these thunderstorms, and you can see that with that thunderstorm moving into the northern portion of Nacogdoches County. Very heavy rainfall, a few lightning strikes with that, and maybe some pea-sized hail between Nacogdoches and the Appleby area moving off to the east. No warning with this storm at the moment, but it is going to be giving a brief heavy downpour. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. This is going to be south of Colemanville for the Woodville area.
Tornado warning with this one.
And they're about to issue a tornado warning for this storm as well. This one looks like a little bit better rotation than what we've seen with other thunderstorms, and there it is. There's that tornado warning. This is going to be for the southern corner of Tyler County, that south and southeast corner. This is not going to include the city of Woodville, but it will include Spurger, and it looks like it'll stay just to the north of the Warren area. So if you're in Colemanville, if you're in Woodville, if you're in Warren, this storm is not going to affect you. This storm is going to affect the Spurger area. Let's see, it's moving down to the south and east, so heading toward the Spurger area probably sometime in the next 15 minutes or so, and then down toward the Fred area about 4:45 with a little bit of rotation. So a tornado possible in the southern corner there of Tyler County. There aren't very many communities down there, Andrew. I appreciate you trying to put that track on there as much as possible. But Spurger, you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. The tornado, it looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning. That thunderstorm we were just looking at in Nacogdoches. They now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail will be possible with this, and you'll notice that red line around it. That's what they're telling us, is that any of these could spin up into brief tornadoes at any moment. So this warning is going to include the city of Nacogdoches. It does not include Appleby at this time. It does include Chirino. It includes the St. Augustine area as well. Here's the track on that thunderstorm that Andrew's putting up right now. 425 in the Swift area, 430 Martinsville, 445 Denning, 455 St. Augustine, and 506 in Draca. I've never heard of that, so if I mispronounced it, I apologize. This is going to be moving out of Nacogdoches in about 15-20 minutes, but if you are in the Nacogdoches area, maybe stay away from windows. There's not a tornado warning for you right now, but they've tagged this as tornado possible. So I would say stay away from windows, stay inside until the thunderstorm has passed. There could be some small pea-sized hail with this as well, so just keep that in mind. Martinsville, Denning, St. Augustine, this thunderstorm is headed toward you. Could bring some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, some small hail with it as well, and the possibility of a brief spin-up landspout tornado with any of these thunderstorms rolling through. I expect pretty much all severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued for the rest of the day today to have this tag of tornado possible, just because we've already heard reports of damage in some areas from the possible spin up of a tornado. Can't confirm that that was tornadic damage, but it is possible that it could have been. So once again, here's a look at all of East Texas. You can see where the cold front is. It's right along the edge of these thunderstorms. So here's where the cold front is, right along the edge of those thunderstorms. Anything behind that is completely quiet for the rest of the evening. It's just going to be breezy, and you're going to start to see those temperatures falling behind this cold front as well. But as the cold front pushes to the east, we're going to see these numerous warnings posted all along with these thunderstorms, and you're probably going to see several more severe thunderstorm warnings that are posted with that tag of tornado possible. And the reason for that is we could see very, very quick spin ups. They'll likely be weak, but that doesn't mean that they can't do damage. And the National Weather Service is telling us with all of these tags saying tornadoes possible that any of these thunderstorms could spin up very quickly, but they haven't seen rotation yet with the ones that are under the severe thunderstorm warning. We still have the tornado warning in effect until 4:30 for the very southern portion there of Rusk County. This is going to be just on the south side of the Dotson area. This is going to barely be moving into Shelby County pretty quickly. That thunderstorm just about to make its way over the county line there. Andrew's zooming in for us just a little bit more. So it looks like the worst of this thunderstorm may stay on the north side of Garrison. I don't see a lot of rotation with it, so I do think it's weakening as it moves toward the county line. The heaviest part will stay north of Garrison and might stay barely just south of Tenaha. I think Tenaha, you're going to get clipped by this thunderstorm to the north more than you will this storm a little bit further down to the south. And then, of course, we have the severe thunderstorm warning for Nacogdoches. This is going to be moving out of Nacogdoches by about 4:30 and continuing on toward the San Augustine area. So keep in mind, any of these thunderstorms could have a brief spin up at any moment. So you need to be watching this very carefully. If you were under a severe thunderstorm warning, I would say stay away from windows. Try to kind of stay in the middle of your house, and of course be monitoring the weather as well. If you have our First Alert weather app, make sure you have notifications turned on for your location, and that way if anything else is issued, then you will get those notifications right to your phone. It looks like they dropped the tornado warning that was in effect now, so that has weakened. And so with that, Andrew, throw up the 3-day forecast, and then I'll pitch it back to the ladies for the rest of the 4 o'clock news. The tornado warning that's down to the south is going to continue to move out of the East Texas area. And with this cold front, boy, it's become kind of busy today, but once we get rid of all these thunderstorms, we've got some really nice cool weather out ahead for us. Temperatures will be dropping into the 40s tonight. Will be blustery and cool tomorrow. Winds die down Thursday and Friday, and temperatures look to stay in the 60s through the end of the week. Anissa and Jennifer, I'm going to send it back to you.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Yes.